Hey everyone, welcome back to AFTV. Me and Robbie are here to preview Arsenal's trip to Molineux, the last Premier League game before the World Cup. Now, Arsenal's Premier League form has been irresistible, Robbie. 11 wins, only the one draw, one defeat. We'll look at the league table in a little bit, but it's just been sublime. I never thought we'd ever start quite like this. How are you feeling about it all?
Fantastic. And it's not just been the fact that we've won all these games, it's been the performances. That has been the thing. You know what I mean? The performance I thought against Chelsea was brilliant. You know, went there, controlled the game from start to finish. Possibly the only thing I'd say, maybe we should have had a couple more goals. But I thought to go away to a big club like Chelsea and to have such a dominant performance, you know, that's like league title winning performances and form. So it's been fantastic. And all we want to do now is just round it off before we go to the World Cup with another win, you know, stay top of the league going into the World Cup break, and then reset and come back again, and hopefully we can push on and really, you know, be in a title challenge right until the end of the season.
Yeah, it has been. The fact that we're talking about title challenges and things like that just brings a smile to my face every time we do. Let's have a look at the match details.
We're in it.
We know it's at Molineux, 32,000-seater stadium. Kickoff is Saturday. It's been a while since we played on a Saturday, but they've tracked us on that 7:45 p.m. kickoff time.
Last game of the break, you know what I mean, of this part of the season. Yeah,
referee, actually I haven't checked the referee, so sorry, I will put that in the comment section for you guys. Have you checked the weather forecast, Robbie, for it? Because, well, I'm not being sent this week, so I imagine it's quite good weather.
Now, he's got this thing going that every time he goes to a game, it pours down with rain. Now, it did pour down with rain at Chelsea. It did pour down with rain at Southampton. I remember that one you lot went to at Brighton. That poured down with rain.
Yeah, but I got out of that by pretending I was ill, so that was all right.
Yeah, but no, I think the weather forecast is going to be all right.
Yeah.
So I'm going.
Robbie's got a nice trip. He's going to enjoy this one. Let's remind ourselves of the league table. This is Arsenal with 34 points at the very top, playing Wolves, who sit in 19th with only 10 points. Are you surprised by Wolves this season?
I'm shocked by Wolves. I mean, they're joint bottom of the table. You know, let's have it right. And they've been really, really poor. And when I saw the players that they brought in, I thought they were going to have a good season.
Yeah, me too.
You know, and they've already, you know, got players of the highest quality. I mean, Ruben Neves, I think would be absolutely perfect at Arsenal. I think if you had a midfield of Ruben Neves, Xhaka, Partey, wow.
Not too defensive for you, that, or?
I just think, you know, or like you got Ruben Neves as your backup to Partey.
Yeah, sure, exactly, yeah.
I just think that would be an outstanding. He's a quality player. So I look at the players they've got, the players they've brought in, you know.
Nunes, Guedes, for example.
You know, Guedes, top player, you know what I mean? And it's just been a real surprise. But then I kind of look and think they dismantled that defence that served them so well over the years, you know. The getting rid of Connor Cody was a real strange one. He was
on loan as well.
Yeah, he was like the heartbeat of that team. You know, there was what's the other guy? I've forgotten his name. The other big. I've forgotten his name.
Romain Saiss.
There's Saiss, but there was another. The other one. I've forgotten his name, but he went as well.
Yeah, you're right. Why am I struggling to? Anyway, carry on. Yeah.
We'll remember his name in a minute. But they dismantled that defence.
Dendoncker went to Villa.
Dendoncker went to Villa as well. And I think that's where, you know, their weakness is. You know what I mean? They concede a lot of goals and they don't score many goals. And this is a great opportunity this week for Arsenal to go there and get a win. It really is.
Wolves' recent Premier League history, you know, coming up with Nuno Espirito Santo, the back five, very hard to beat. Superb in games against the teams higher up in the league because they were so great on the counter-attack. And then I think they tried to evolve a little bit, and Bruno Lage came in. I thought last season, for large parts, still looked a tough team to beat, but played really good football. And the whole Connor Cody thing, listen, I'll point you guys to box. That's the place to get the real insight with Turkish. But what it was for me is I think Connor Cody went out on loan because they were going to play a back four. They felt he was a back five defender. And ultimately, he has ended up playing in a back four at Everton and doing really well. And this is a guy who was the Wolves guy, you know. So it's a really strange development from them. Then Lage has gone, and now we know that Lopetegui joins, you know, as the World Cup break begins. So they're clearly a side that are a little bit struggling for identity right now.
I'm kind of glad as well that Lopetegui's not coming in before this game, so that they haven't really got that new manager bounce effect.
But they know who they're playing for, though, now.
Yeah, they do know they're playing for now, but they've always sort of had this solid, back three. It's that back three, back five that they've always that's been so successful for them in the Premier League. And I just feel that this year, their two big problems have been scoring goals. They don't score enough goals. And also, defending. If you don't defend right and you don't score goals, that's a recipe for a bad season, which is what they're having.
Yeah.
But I'm still shocked to see that they're in that position when I look at the quality of players they've got. And that is a threat to Arsenal. That, when you're playing against teams that, all right, they're having a tough time, but they've got a lot of quality. Quality can still turn up on a day if you're not on it and hurt you. So we've got to go there and put in as a professional performance as we did against Chelsea and all these other teams that we've beaten away. And I think we're very capable of doing that.
They have tried to address the whole striking issue. One of the players they brought in on a free... Well, they had the injuries, haven't they? And then Diego Costa comes in.
Brought in Diego Costa, and he does what Diego Costa does, goes and gets himself sent off with a ridiculous... I don't know if you saw that game. I think it was...
I did see that.
It was literally in about the 97th minute.
Yeah.
I mean...
And you're getting a point.
Only Diego Costa could do that. Yeah, and... out for 3 games, which is one of our games. Our game's one of the games he's missing, which, listen, I'm glad he's not playing because in the games I've seen him play, he ain't looked too bad. I thought he was going to be, way, way, way off the pace. He hasn't looked that way. I don't think he scored yet, but he hasn't looked way off the pace. And he would have been pumped to play Arsenal. So I feel that it's to our benefit that he's missing.
Yeah, I agree. Let's look at the last 5 Premier League games for both teams. It goes back to that 3-2 win against Liverpool in early October, the win at Leeds, the draw at Southampton, 5-0 against Forest, and the 1-0 away win against Chelsea. I mean, 6 goals, 2 clean sheets, 6 points on the board. What a response to what happened at Southampton, which felt disappointing because of the players they had out missing, the opportunity to retain that 4-point gap on City. It's now 2 points, but what a response.
What a response, and I think what's been very pleasing about Arsenal is we're going away from home, we're keeping all these clean sheets.
Yeah.
We don't concede a lot of games or goals away from home. Even the Southampton game, we conceded 1, but I think we've kept, 5 clean sheets away from home.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think that's excellent. And if we're going to go to a team that's a low-scoring team, we can keep a clean sheet, and then we've been scoring goals. We've got a really, really good chance to win this game. It's going to be really interesting to see, what mood the players are in. Now, listen, when I say that, it's the last game before the World Cup. And we've got a lot of Arsenal players going away to the World Cup. Gabriel Jesus, Martinelli.
Well done, Martinelli.
Ben White, congratulations to him. He made the squad. Ramsdale, Saka. Xhaka, Saliba, all these guys are going to be going away to the World Cup. They would have seen this week, right? And over the past couple of weeks, some big stars get injured that are not going to be at the World Cup. No Reece James at the World Cup. No Sadio Mane, I'm hearing, going to be missing for the World Cup. So big players, Timo Werner, is that going to be in the back of their mind? I hope not. I don't think it will be because I think the way in which these guys are playing, they're so professional. But I just hope that that's not in the back of their mind. I don't want to get go into that 50-50 because next week I'm playing for Brazil. So
yeah. No, I know what you mean. I've never felt, and I know you're not suggesting this, but I've never felt a lapse in concentration or commitment from the players actually to what they're doing for Arsenal. And I have, I'm not going to name names, but I have watched other teams and looked at certain players and thought, you don't look like you're giving this your all. And I've never felt that about the Arsenal players. And with where they are in the league, surely they'll be thinking, this is such a good opportunity to leave my club top of the table.
Yeah, it's a big motivation for them. Could that affect some of the Wolves players? Because there will be some of those Wolves players that are going to be on their way to the Neves, World Cup as well.
Nunes, I imagine.
Yeah,
Pedro
quite a few.
Neto,
some of their Portuguese guys and stuff like that are going to be on their way to the World Cup.
No, not Conor Cody.
It's not there. No,
we made that point.
Yeah, listen, it's one of those games I feel, if Arsenal got to do what they've been doing all season, which is start games fast. Start games fast. I thought last year we played really, really well against them. We played well. Even the year before, remember that game we lost when David Luiz got sent off? Up until he got sent off, we were playing some great stuff. Remember, we took the game to them. We were really attacking them. It was all us. And then you had that sending off. And it does seem to be between us and Wolves, there's a little bit of spice in these games, because we had the Martinelli sending off last year, which was really, really controversial. The year before that, we had the David Luiz one. That was really controversial. There does seem to be a bit of spice.
I wonder if that's...
in these games. Wasn't it them as well that were accusing us of over-celebrating?
Yeah,
another member of the celebration police.
Yeah.
You know, so
Neves was one of them.
Yeah, so I think there's going to be a bit of spice to this game. They'll be up for it.
Yeah.
But what we can do, go there, get an early. Let's remember where they're at. They're right near the bottom. You literally got two teams, right, that are this miles apart. The weekend, one team could finish on top of the league going into the international break. Into the World Cup break. Another team could finish that on the bottom. Because if they lost that game and say Forest and teams around them get one or draw, they could be bottom of the league going into that World Cup break, which that's not... So they're under a lot of pressure in the game as well. It's not like a free hit for them.
No. And actually, I wonder if that spice you talk about is, yes, the comments from Neves and all that, but the fact that for a good 2-3 years, Arsenal were falling down the table and Wolves were seen as one of the teams that can maybe nick a European spot. They did play European football. They were very competitive in these big games, came to the Emirates, got a point, beat us 3-0 their place when we were under Emery. And actually, you know, I wonder if there was that sense of we're catching up and Arsenal, you know, wanting to, you know, show their authority a little bit.
Exactly. For a time, you know, I mean, Wolves have been catching up. As I said, I'm really shocked with what's been going on there this season, but it's always a tough place to go to as well. It's a great atmosphere there. Their fans are fantastic. The way in which the ground is laid out, we were doing on Invincible podcast, and Lee Judges was moaning about it and saying that they're very clever in the way that they put all the fans the away fans along the side of one end. So you've got different songs breaking out along the whole thing. There's no real big atmosphere. And then they've got both stands behind the goal, but they make a magnificent noise there at Wolves. It's really a great atmosphere. They got. It's a ground that I like going to. You know what I mean? It's always a great atmosphere there. But I think because of the position they're in, because, as I said, they could go into that World Cup break, bottom of the league, they're going to be edgy. Even if fans are going to be edgy, they're going to be edgy. If we can get off to a fast start, get an early goal, that could really put them under some serious pressure.
Well, here are Wolves' last 5 results. They beat Forest 1-0. They lost 2-1 at Palace. They lost 4-0 at home to Leicester. Leicester weren't in great form at the time, but
I remember watching that game, and Wolves are so poor.
Yeah. Brentford 1, Wolves 1, and Wolves 2, Brighton 3 was their last result, a late winner for Brighton. Yeah. So we both know what it feels like to lose to Brighton in the last 7 days.
But that was we were talking about full teams, you know what I mean? Because the Brighton game, I'm not counting that in our run, really, because that's like,
it's a shame, but
we're playing a keeper in goal who's never started a first team game. He's 20. There was 10 changes. This is a different game come Saturday. This is the full team, you know what I mean? Thomas Partey, Jesus, Martinelli, Saka, everybody's in. And like you said, they all know that this is the big one before we go away to the World Cup. I mean, for those guys as well, how good will it feel going away to the World Cup knowing that you're top of the league?
But that's it. It's going away knowing you've more than done your job for your club. Yeah. You can focus fully on the World Cup, come back and we don't expect them to be playing the World Cup sort of, well, I don't want to get injured because I've got the league title to chase. Yeah. No. Give your all for Arsenal, go, give your all for your country, come back, see out the rest of the season. You mentioned, how we've done at Wolves, and this is Arteta's results at Molineux. Started with a 2-0 win in lockdown. I remember Saka scored that great goal, Lacazette at the end. Then the 2-1 defeat. That was the David Luiz red card you touched on earlier. And we did win 1-0 last season thanks to a Gabriel goal. He also won us the game at Stamford Bridge last weekend. So, actually done all right there.
Yeah, the Martinelli controversy. Remember that?
Yeah, it was a joke.
When he got sent off for the double yellow card leading to a red, which...
I've seen plenty double yellow card offences since that haven't been
funny. I'll never forget that, man. I was so angry. But, Yeah, listen, when you look at that record, it's decent there.
It is, yeah.
It's decent there, and when
we should never have lost that game. We lost.
We shouldn't have lost that game when we went David Luiz, and we went to a very strong Wolves last year, and we won with 10 men.
Yeah.
So
very true.
The way we're playing this season, and the way we've been going away. I mean, once again, performance at Chelsea was brilliant. Even the game we lost against Manchester United, the performance was there.
Yeah, it's true.
So away from home, we're putting in very good performances. We've got a very cohesive unit. I'm loving what I'm watching at the moment.
Yeah, I agree.
Loving it.
I believe by the time this Wolves game's done, we'll have played more away games as well than home games.
We seem to be away all the time, you know what I mean? But it hasn't, this team, the fans travelling away have been absolutely brilliant. So behind the team. I mean, there's a real togetherness. And you get this thing when I've seen it over the years with Arsenal when we had the great teams, of Thierry Henry and that. You start to get that thing where, we think we can go anywhere and win.
Yeah.
And when you build that, that's what can push you towards titles. When you believe that, anywhere we go, we fancy ourselves that we will win.
Yeah.
And Arsenal starting to build that within them because, as I said, the way they went to Chelsea, I mean, after the first half, it was nearly 70% possession to us.
Yeah.
Nearly all the shots. When you're going away to teams like that and doing that, we can do the same come this week at Molineux.
Yeah, very true. Let's go through some stats and news as well. Arsenal have won 6 of their 8 Premier League away games against Wolves, losing 2 of them, and have scored at least once in all 16 of their meetings with them in the competition. So, expect goals. Arsenal have scored in each of their last 29 meetings with Wolves in all competitions since a 1-0 loss in February 1979. Only against West Brom are the Gunners currently on a longer scoring streak in all competitions. Okay, so really expect goals, but I'm sure I'm jinxing it all right now. Arsenal have had 3 players sent off across their last 2 Premier League away games against Wolves, with Martinelli seeing red last season, David Luiz and Leno doing so in February 2021. I remember that one, especially the Luiz one. Was an absolute joke. But expect goals and red cards, especially with Wolves' recent red card record. In terms of the injury front, we know Smith Rowe's out. We knew he was going to miss this period, the World Cup period and all that. So, we hope we get him back fit for the return. Tomiyasu, I think, is going to be fit for Japan and the World Cup, but I doubt he's going to be available for this game. And otherwise, there's not really anything else, I don't believe, to worry about.
Most of the players are fit. They didn't really have to. Most of the first teamers didn't figure the other night or just came on for like 10 minutes. Nobody's really reported injured or anything. We got a great chance to go there. We've got a good record there. If we can win this game, as I said, then when we come back, we're nearly into January, we can strengthen and really push. We are contenders at the moment for the Premier League. When I was looking at the table the other day and I see we're 13 points above Chelsea, we're 8 points above Tottenham with a game in hand. We're in really good shape at the moment. There'll be a bit of pressure on Arsenal because I think, Man City will have the early game. They've got the 12:30 kickoff. They're at home. Yeah. Is it Bournemouth or somebody? They've got an easy game.
Brentford at home.
Brentford have been playing poorly recently, so you'd expect City to win that easily.
Yeah, I agree.
So the pressure will be on Arsenal probably come the night. But we responded last week. That's what I loved as well. It was sort of, they got that last minute winner, Man City, and then it was kind of like, over to you, Arsenal. Can you handle the pressure? Away at Chelsea, we were like, we can handle this.
Yeah.
It'll be a similar situation on Saturday because I'd expect them to win. Then it's over to us. Can you handle the pressure? And we've got to show them that we can. And
what a message that would be to Man City to say, you've ended the season with, because they've only played 2 of the big 6. We've played 4 of them now. And for them to end with 2 home games, Fulham and Brentford, and to end and still not be top of the table, that would be a real message from Arsenal. They'll be thinking, are you kidding? Really?
They'll probably go out in January and buy Mbappe as well.
Have him. Messi, you're not happy at PS? Come on, you join us. Exactly. All right, then we'll end it there, just with a score prediction and your one to watch.
I'll go 2-0. 2-0 to the Arsenal. A one to watch in the game for Arsenal is going to be Martinelli. I think that Martinelli is going to be still remembering what happened last year, and he's going to be fired up. Plus, as well, just made it into the Brazilian squad. He's going to be really fired up for this game, I think. So Martinelli's my guy.
For those same reasons, I agree with you. Martinelli, you're right. The whole red card last season, but also how must you be feeling if you're playing for Brazil right now?
Yeah.
So, and how will that affect him? Hopefully, I'm sure.
I think it would affect him in a positive way.
That's what
this kid's come such a long way. I mean, he's living a dream right now. You know what I mean? Came here, no one knew who he was. Cost next to nothing from the Brazilian second division. Has done brilliantly. He's been patient. He's done brilliantly at Arsenal. Deserves his place in the Brazilian squad, and now he's playing for Arsenal, top of the league, and for Brazil. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
There you go, guys. Let us know your score predictions in the comments below. Let us know your thoughts going into this match. Check out Box to Box if you haven't yet, and also the Predict 11's coming out, where we took a slightly different twist on it. Seth and I are talking about how Arsenal might set up tactically, why Zinchenko is important. So go have a little look at that. If it's not out, it will be coming out very shortly as well. Guys, hope you've enjoyed it. Come on, Arsenal. One last push before the World Cup, and we look forward to welcoming you back after that. See you then.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.